Hey family, y'all really showed up for me. In my video, Living in Affordable Housing, why do we now have armed guards wearing bulletproof vests? So many of you tuned in, but if you really want to understand where my journey started, check out my video called My Journey, Cancer, Surgery, Homelessness, and Finding Hope. That video gives you more of my background on how I ended up in affordable housing in the first place. Now, last month, I shared something real, it was really personal, something that I shared with you on how family stress, 2 years of water leaks, and carpet damage was choking my peace. I couldn't afford, and I can't afford to move out. And I felt really, really heavy. I felt stuck. It's like I couldn't think straight. But what I didn't expect was how many of y'all related. So many people relate to my story. Maybe not all of the story, because all of you wasn't homeless. All of you may not have had cancer, but y'all's comments, the engagement that you gave me, the love that you gave me, it really touched me. And it reminds me of something that I needed to feel. I needed to feel that I'm not alone. So today, I just want to catch y'all up, give y'all an update. And if you're in your own season of resetting, whether it's your home, your heart, or maybe even your mindset, this is your space too, because all of us need to feel, that we're not alone, that we have somebody who understands us, have our backs, as much as you could, watching my videos, watching them all the way through, So go ahead and tap on that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And let me know in the comments how you've been holding onto your own peace. Let me know what you do to hold on to your own peace. Now, we're going to do this together, and step by step and prayer by prayer, we're gonna make it through this, and we're gonna succeed. I have confidence. Now, I'm going to tell y'all what changed in my life. Now, the carpet finally got changed. Thank you, Jesus. And the water problems are gone. Thank you, Jesus. No, I won't be walking through wet floors and, from my bathroom, from the hallway, or even at my front door. That's gone. That's stopped. And just that alone gave me so much peace. My home feels lighter, clearer. It feels brighter in here. It makes me want to get up and do my hair. It makes me want to put on some clothes to make me feel good the way that my home feels. And I don't know about you guys, but if my home, now the outside world can be however the outside world may be. But when you come into your home, you want to feel peace. You want to feel relaxed. But the way this was, before they changed the flooring and whatnot, it just felt like a lot of noise, a lot of chatter just kept coming in my head and it wouldn't stop. I found myself confined to my bedroom a lot. I didn't want to come out of, get out of my bed. It kept me depressed. And when you go back and listen to the old videos that I have on the ones that I suggested that you go look at, but go look at other videos that I have on here, and you'll be able to understand what I'm saying. I have another channel called Traveling the Unknown. When I first found out that I had breast cancer, and on that channel, I wasn't trying to become monetized like how I'm working at becoming monetized on this channel. But I had become monetized on that channel, and I didn't know what to do with it because I wasn't expecting to become monetized. I was new to YouTube, new to putting content on YouTube. And it's all because when I first found out that I had cancer, I wanted to do research on what it was that I was going to go through. And I wanted to understand, instead of looking at how other people that I knew in real life, away from video, family members or friends or people who I knew that had cancer in the past, and how they passed away with cancer. So it's like I needed to understand what it was that I was getting ready to go through, because I only knew that they were sick. The people that I knew, they were sick, and they never really discussed, what they were going through, and you didn't know it sometime almost till it was almost to the end. And with me, I didn't want to be like that. I wanted to understand, what breast cancer was about. And I wanted to understand what I was getting ready to face, and how I could help myself. And, and everything was just new, and everything, being in the hospital, being sick. I never really was sick before, before I found out I had cancer. And I never really took medication before I found out that I had cancer. So everything that I'm going through now is new, as far as when it first started. Now, 3 years in, everything is different. I understand a whole lot, and I try to be on top of things as far as my health is concerned. So now that my health is, kind of under control. No, it is under control. Thank God. Now, my home situation, I'm trying to get it right. And getting that right means that you have to go back and watch my older videos and see how I came to living in affordable living. But now, and y'all got to know that this place is infested with gnats. I had roaches, but if you go back and watch one of my videos, I set roach bombs off here in my home, and I almost choked myself trying to get rid of these roaches. But, the roaches are kind of under control, and I just have to stay on top of that. And but just go back through old videos and you'll understand about my apartment living. Now, I have more peace in my home now. Like I said, I don't walk through the wet floors no more, and I just have the gnat problem, and I'm controlling the roaches. So I'm gonna get to a point to where I'm gonna be able to try to control these gnats, but they go away, then they come back. They go away, then they come back. I have things that I've set out for the gnats and stuff like that, but they go away, they come back. So I'm learning how to work on that. Now, like I said, I do have more peace here in my home, and everything is a little bit more clearer, and I don't feel weighed down like I felt with that carpet that they had in here on the floor, because the carpet stayed wet all the time from the water leak. And just imagine, sometime you used to walk through the hallway and you could see the water splashing up with every step that you took. But I felt uh, um, I felt kind of stuck, but I don't feel weighed down anymore. I've been more intentional about protecting my peace. I'm volunteering at the stadiums, and I'm praying more, and I'm staying close to you guys, communicating in the comments section, and I'm actually listening to you guys. I'm communicating with you guys, and I hear everything it is that you're saying. And believe me, like the person said, why don't I just move? That is the goal. That is the goal. And I'm really looking forward to, things like going to my brother's wedding that's in June. It's going to be in California. My brother lives in Maryland, but he's marrying a young lady that lives in California. So I'll be there in June. And once I get back to Texas, I'll be getting ready to go into surgery, for after the cancer, I had a double mastectomy, and they rebuilt my breast, called reconstructive breast surgery, and certain things wasn't done quite right, and I'll be going into MD Anderson Hospital to correct those things. And so I'll be putting things in order and choosing to focus on good, as much as I can. I know that everything is not going to be good all the time. I don't expect that, but I try my best to focus on things that are good. Now, what stayed the same? Now that's a question. What stayed the same? Now look, some things are still the same. I still have family stress sometimes, like a lot of people do, go through things in the family, and life stuff. I still go through those things. Now, it doesn't just disappear overnight. I don't expect that. But the difference is that I'm different. I don't react the same way like I reacted in the past. And I'm learning to protect my energy, and stay centered more. When I respond to some of those people in the comment section, when they're talking negative to me, I don't want to go to their level, but I don't want them to take me out of where I am, So I try to stay centered. And even when everything around me tries to pull me back into that into the chaos. And that's all that is: chaos, noise, craziness. I try to stay centered. Now, as for my progress or setbacks, I've had a little bit of both of those, and I'm just going to always be real. But some progress is what I'm focusing on. I'm working on progress, one step at a time. Rearranging my space, for instance, gave me a fresh energy. And every time I try, I go in my comment section and I read my comments, or I connect with you guys, and that uplifts me. That keeps me centered. That keeps me, you know, communicating in some type of way. Whether I don't expect to evade or not be around, or not around, but not have people to say negative things that I have to deal with. So it just depends on what it is, how I respond to it, and how I let people get under my skin. But even if you get under my skin for a moment, you can't stay there. But sometimes you can't even get under my skin because I'll respond to you differently, you know? And if I have to, I will get you off. I'm sorry. Yeah, Michelle will do that, but but my YouTube family, you guys keep me uplifted. You keep me focused, and you help me to keep my mind clear so that I can, keep growing and keep going. Now, it reminds me that I am still growing, and I am still healing. Not and when I say still healing, mentally and physically, because I still have some things going on with my breast, health wise, but I'm getting ready to take care of that. And things that I've been through, I'm still healing on those things because some of that stuff was traumatic. Some of it, if you go back to my previous videos and I talk about it, some of that stuff was traumatic, especially when you've never gone through stuff like that before, and then I went through that stuff 4 months right after my surgery, right after my surgery. So, but like I said, I am still healing, and no, I don't have mental problems. I guess all of us are a little touched in some way, because if somebody does something, hold on a minute. Hi guys, I'm sorry about that. I had a knock at the door. So now, like I said, I am still healing, and I'm not doing this alone, and that makes me feel good. Now, I also want to say to you guys that a small but powerful moment of peace. I want to tell y'all about a small but powerful moment of my peace. And y'all, just walking through my home and not seeing water everywhere, that's peace. Right there, that's peace. And I shopped my home to rearrange my living room. So I showed y'all saw, I have videotape showing when the guys were changing the floors out, and when they, once they finished and everything. And I showed you guys how I put my living room back together, and then I changed the curtains from my bedroom to my living room, and then I put pillows on the sofa, making the sofa look nice. So y'all got a chance to see that. And I added a little personality to the kitchen. I showed y'all a little about that as I was redoing some things, and people were sending me things from my Amazon wish list. And so I did some things there, and I'm not finished. I'm almost finished with what I'm gonna do, because I'm not gonna do very much else, because I'm afraid that I can move away from here. So everything that I'm putting in here right now is something that I can take out of here and put somewhere else. And but what I do want to start working on, and I'm excited about that, is to give my bedroom a fresh look, so that when I come home from my surgery, I don't have to look at a drab, boring bedroom. You know, I don't have comforter. I want to, well, so I just want to give my bedroom a new look so that as I heal, I feel good about my healing. So, and through it all, and yes, I'm looking at my notes to keep me on track because especially when people keep coming to my door, I tend to get off track a little bit and that throws me off. So yeah. So I'll say through it all, I have to keep going back to the serenity prayer. And if y'all know the serenity prayer, y'all understand what I'm talking about. And that prayer has been my anchor from time to time. And it reminds me that I can change what I can, and what I need to surrender, I need to surrender. So let me just say that healing doesn't always happen overnight, and it comes in layers. And sometimes peace doesn't come from fixing everything. Because when I thought that, I was healed from breast cancer, I started having complications. So, and it's still being worked on. So that's still being fixed. And it comes from letting go of what you can't fix and choosing to reset what you can. Oh, Nats, I can't take it. Okay, so the serenity prayer goes, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change. Give me the courage to change the things that I can, and give me the wisdom to know the difference. And every time I say that prayer, I feel just a little bit more clear. And I'll be able to, understand where I need to let go of, and the things that I need to work on. So with that being said, I want to let you guys know that I'd really love for you to go in my comment section and comment on anything in the comment section, communicating with me. And look at other people's comments and communicate with them also if you like. But please like and share and subscribe to my channel. Please watch my videos all the way through. That helps my watch hours increase so that I could be able to become monetized. And that's what I'm working toward on here, is to become monetized. And once I become monetized, I'm going to work my way to leaving affordable living. And once I leave affordable living, then I'll be able to, live in market rate rent. And then I want to learn how to bring more and different content to you. So my goal is to become a full-time YouTuber. That's my goal. So I'm here saying what I'm saying today, but tomorrow, who knows what the future is going to bring. So thank you guys for coming and being a part of Living the Vision. And I'll see you in the next video.